Hi, it's Malcolm here and welcome to another TTS video. So in this video I'm going to go over a little system or method I use, which I posted in the Facebook group yesterday, showing a number of successful trades I had. Now, I'm not a full-time trader by any means, and so I tend to swap from one thing to another, trying out different ideas. I do get stages where I spend a lot of time trading, but it just hasn't been lately. But this is a method I kind of go back to every so often. I quite enjoy doing. And I thought yesterday I had a go of it and had one race after another successful. And I tend to go for somewhere between 10 and 20% of my stake profit wise. So like yesterday, generally I was staking £5 and going for £1 profit. But the other problem is when I don't trade very often, I make silly mistakes sometimes and go on the wrong runner or don't trade properly, that kind of thing. So, you know, you have to be a little bit careful with what you're doing when you're a part-time trader. You need to spend more time doing it. But the idea behind this is to just literally find a runner that you think is going to drop in price. Now, I use it in play as well, so you don't have to do that. You can make the decisions before the race. I tend to go for 10 to 5 minutes before, but like today I saw a particular race and I kind of quite fancied it, so I put a trade in and I'm waiting to see what happens, and I'll explain that a bit later. So sorry, that's the other version. Anyway, so the first thing I look at, I actually wrote it here, but within top 3 rated. So I would sort by TP and then, or 1/3, whichever you prefer, and then use one of the top 3. Obviously, you want to go on races where we've got some information, so you wouldn't be on this race. But the first thing I do is go down this column looking for runners that have at least one. Now, I'm flexible about a number of these parts, but I wanted to give you something to work with. So I actually prefer them to have at least 1 point or over DOB-PL. Now I will go under that sometimes, but that's kind of what I'm looking for. The more the better, obviously. So, you know, but you don't really want to go too low. 0.075 might be a little bit too low. 0.75, sorry. 0.85 possibly. So anyway, that's the first thing. Then we're going to only look at these 3 runners. And the next thing we want to know is that they have at least one or more tipsters. So again, all 3 of these runners meet the criteria, okay, of this selection process or this method. Now the third and final thing, the fourth thing is the DOB form. Now, what we're really looking for is at least 3 out of the 5. Now, I might go down to 2 out of the 5. Again, I tend to be a little bit flexible with it, and it depends on how I'm feeling about it and that kind of thing. But the last, so these 2 would fit that rule. This one wouldn't. So I think we'll call this out anyway because it's got a low DOB-PL. So we got these 2 to choose from. The last thing is price. So I tend to like 4 to 9. The reason is that under 4 there's not a lot of profit, and you need quite a few ticks to start, you know, to get to that 10 or 20%. Over kind of 9s into the 10s, 11s, I will go 10s and 11s sometimes. Again, I'm really flexible about this, so don't, you know, think everything I've said here is in stone, because it isn't. 10 or 11 is a possibility, but when you get higher than that, you just, you know, it's great if they come for you, because, you know, you can make a lot of money very, very quickly. But generally, an outsider is an outsider. And especially if you go in play, it's got to do something special for that price to drop. Otherwise, it's just going to start going out and out and out. And, you know, so, you know, you can try it if you want. But I tend to stick mainly between the 4 and the 9. That tends to be my go-to area, if you like. So this one, this Country Charm, apart from the DOB-PL being a little bit low, is a selection I might take on. Okay, so that just gives you an idea. If we come down to this next race, and this is how it will tend to go during the day. 1.5 DOB-PL, so that's brilliant. Top TTS. Now these are always a good selection anyway. So, you know, you're kind of liking these anyway. Tips by three tipsters, and it's got 2 out of 5. So it's not perfect across the board, but I'll go for 2 out of 5, and a price of 4.4. Now that might be a bit lower by the time you get to the race, and I expect that to be down to 3 or something. So and sometimes I wonder if I should check these out earlier and start trying these green ratings earlier on, because I think you'll find often there's movements. So that is something to look out for. But I think that will be under 4, and then I'll show you actually the 1410. Yeah, so it was Royal Destiny, wasn't it? Yeah, Dynasty. Sorry, Royal Dynasty. And you can see now it's under 3. Now, see, the reason your profit margin is now £11.25, whereas on the, what was that other one I was on? Leave this page. On this one, the profit margin is 30. So it doesn't need many ticks for it to go down. This is a back to lay, obviously, method. We're backing first and laying out, or laying off, if you like. So we want the price to come down, not go out. So there's a lot more movement, a lot more price to make quite quickly. Of course, it can go the other way against you, but it doesn't need to do much to get to our £1 profit or our 10 or 20% profit. So that's why I tend to like them more. Let's just go back. So that's going to be a little bit low. I have done them before, don't get me wrong, because there's a good chance that horse is going to win the race, according to my rating. So it might be one that you might take on for an in play, or just to see if the price drops any further before the off. Again, 10 to 5 minutes before the off, depending on what the market's doing. I'll go back to that actually. What I tend to do is look at the graph. So on this particular one, River Dawn, and I've gone in really early with this, but the price has been going out all morning, but then it's kind of stopped up here a couple of times, and I'm like, well, maybe it's going to go down again. So I've kind of taken a chance on it. We call this the trading window. If you looked at it on a ladder, you'd see that you've got your top prices and your bottom prices, and the trading window is between those two prices, and it's kind of at the top of its price. Now, if this was 5 or 10 minutes before the off, it might make more sense. It's just I thought, I don't know, it looks a good selection, so I'm going to go for it and see what happens. But it's not moving at the moment, so, and it probably won't. There's not much money on the market, but I sometimes do that. The next one, sorry, I've got hay fever, so if I sound a little bit blocked, I apologise for that. So the next one is this one, which is just coming up to a point. 3 tips, 2.8 will probably be too low. I wouldn't probably be on that one. Too many runners with hundreds and 200s and stuff like that on that one. Not going to go on there. Don't really like small races, unless I've got a good reason to go on an outsider. And in this case, I haven't. That price is miles too low, and that one is. If there was a reason to go on that, I might go on that one, but there isn't. .pl 13 and 6.9. That's interesting. Tipster 2 and 1. Both of these are good. 10.5. So that would be my selection. Probably that one looks pretty good as well. So it's an interesting one. I'd have to look at the race a bit more, see what that price was. So the 1450. I don't know if I've got that up. No, I haven't at the moment. I'll get it here. So what have we got? I've got to take the name of the horse. Hold it. 1450. Highwayman and Briardale. Highway Great and Briardale. Let's have a look. So Briardale is at 8. So both of these will possibly be selections. Again, this is coming close to the top of its trading window, but it's a bit early to really do it. Bridal again's going out. So yeah, I don't know between those two at this moment in time. I don't know between them, and sometimes because of that, I don't actually take a decision. I go, right, I can't decide, so I'm not going to bother on either of them. But you know, either looks good. I think Highway Grey just comes out that little bit better. Two tipsters. Yeah, but then that, so it's a difficult one. So I don't know. You'd have to look at the race. It might be that you just go on the top rated one. It meets every other condition. It's got the highest DOB payout. It's got two tipsters. It's one less on the DOB payout, but everything else makes Highway Grey look like the one to go on. 5.5 is not a bad price. So that would probably be my selection if I was going to go on that race. So yeah, difficult one. Right, let's go down anyway to another one. So 4.75, 2.75 and 0.08. Again, these two look good. That's probably going to be a bit low. That's probably going to be a bit high. That would be a nice selection. Third one down, 0.8 to 3 tipsters though. So that could be a possible selection as well. Good price. So, you know, again, it's inside the top 3. So that might be a possibility you could look at. I think the other two are just going to be out on price. So it's a matter of whether you don't mind that there and that there's a bit low. So I don't know. There are plenty of trades to do a day. So you can sometimes just say, oh, I can't be bothered with it. Just no point. Now this is quite a nice one. 2 out of 4. We've only got 4 in the .pl section for some reason. Price of 5.2 might be lower by the time you get there. 5 tipsters, 5.35 .pl. Yeah, that would be one that looks pretty good. So that would probably be marked down as a selection. Nothing there. Got this one here, 4s. They're all the same. I would probably stay away. Not enough .pl really to go on. Nothing there. So here we've got 2. We've got all these others without information, so a little bit difficult to go on. Neither of them got tipsters, so yeah, I'd probably leave that race alone. 1.65 there and 1.65 there. 4 tipsters. This would be another one I think I'd go on. 2 out of 5, not 3 out of 5. You know, not slightly below, but good price. 4 tipsters, 1.65 .pl. Yeah, I could be tempted to go on that one, I think. And I'm only going to go up to 5-ish. So there's 3 here. Now this one is quite interesting. Out of these 3, it's a bit of a weird race really. It's an Ascot race, so always difficult when you're on these kind of races. That price is probably going to be too high. In fact, all 3 of those prices are going to be too high. But that kind of meets the bill. 4.75, 1. That price is out, but everything else fits the bill. If you're going to try one, that might be the one to try at a high price. So this last one, no, don't like that. Nothing there. So we just do 1735. See if there's anything here. The top 3. It's a bit all over the place though. But we got this 4, 1.85, 9.6 might be in 3 out of those. So that might be a selection. It is a top 3. It's got 4 tipsters going for it. 9.6. I think that would probably be a selection as well. So basically that's how I select those runners. And if I get any good ones today and I get a chance to do it, I'll post them in the Facebook group again. Okay, thanks for watching, and if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and when you subscribe you'll get a little bell, and click that and then you'll get notified of new videos that come up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.